Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're an educator, you know exactly how it feels when a shiny new piece of technology gets dropped on your school. You're probably thinking, great, another system I have to learn, just another hurdle in my already packed day. But today, we're going to reframe that completely. We are demystifying exactly how the KLearn system works, and as you'll see, it's actually not a hurdle at all. It's a remarkably powerful, time-saving digital teaching assistant.
Right off the bat, let's define what we're actually talking about here. Based on our source material, KLearn is your school's learning management system. And the key takeaway? It's designed to be the one, single, centralized hub for absolutely everything. We're talking your classes, learning resources, activities, grades, and your lesson plans. Seriously, you don't need to juggle 5 different apps or a dozen messy spreadsheets anymore. The whole shebang lives right here.
Okay, here is our roadmap for today. 1. What is KLearn? 2. Your 2 teaching roles. 3. Building your subject hub. 4. Interactive AI study tools. 5. Simplified grading. And 6. Monitoring progress.
Let's dive right into part 1. What exactly is KLearn?
To get started, let's make sure we're all speaking the same language by covering some core terminology. In KLearn, a class is a specific section, say grade 8 Mabini, and it's led by a class advisor. Now, a subject is taught within that class by an assigned subject teacher. So, sticking with our example, that'd be grade 8 science. Then we have a competency. This is a specific learning goal for that grade level and subject, and crucially, it is shared across every single section that teaches it. Finally, a learning resource is just any file, video, link, or activity tied to a competency that your learners will actually open up and complete.
Moving right along to part 2, your 2 teaching roles. Depending on your day-to-day assignments, you might be wearing one of 2 hats in this system. Think of the class advisor as the macro-level manager. They're the ones enrolling learners, handling pending requests, and they have authority over the big, comprehensive class gradebook and the final release of report cards. The subject teacher, on the other hand, is focused entirely on the content. They add those specific competencies we just talked about, curate the resources, build interactive AI activities, and manage their own subject gradebook and daily lesson plans. Oh, and a quick side note, if you're a class advisor, you actually have all the abilities of a subject teacher, plus that extra administrative power.
All right, part 3, building your subject hub. For all you overworked teachers out there, you're going to love this. If you teach grade 8 science to 3 different sections, you absolutely do not have to type out your competencies 3 times. It's so simple. 1 grade level plus a subject equals 1 shared set of competencies. Meaning, if you add a competency to section A, it instantly populates in section B. There is literally no duplicate work required. It's all automated, so you just build your foundation once and it serves all your relevant classes. Game changer, right?
Now, KLearn uses 2 main spaces for content, the inventory and the subject page. Think of the inventory as your school's massive permanent library. Every single resource ever added lives there. But your subject page, that is your curated shelf. That's the only thing your learners actually see. So you deliberately handpick items from that massive inventory and pull them over to your active subject page. Simply dumping a resource into the inventory doesn't automatically push it to your students. You are always in total control of what they see and when they see it.
Okay, let's jump into part 4, which is honestly the coolest part, interactive AI study tools. This is the most dynamic feature of KLearn, hands down. This is where the platform truly becomes your active teaching assistant. You can take almost any teaching material you already have, a PDF, a Word file, a PowerPoint, just plain text, or even an image up to 3 megabytes, and upload it straight into the AI studio. You literally just tell the AI what you need, and it goes to work, magically transforming your static, maybe slightly boring documents into highly engaging, interactive activities in just minutes. And what's really interesting here is the sheer variety of what it can generate. From just one uploaded document, the AI can build a quick warm-up, foundational learn modules, guided practice, independent practice, a tougher mastery challenge, or a full review. As the teacher, you just pick whatever perfectly fits your lesson for that day. Plus, you get to toggle retries on or off for each activity right from the Learning Resources page. You can see every single learner's score, their timestamp, their exact responses, and you can even leave targeted comments right there on their work. Which brings us nicely to part 5, simplified grading and planning.
So, grading in KLearn is built on a very consistent, official formula across 3 terms and 3 components. And rather than you sitting there manually crunching numbers, the system does it for you. It calculates the weighted score by taking the average of the raw score divided by the max and then multiplies it by the weight.
Then, it sums up all 3 components to give you an initial grade. Finally, it automatically runs that initial grade through the official DepEd transmutation table to spit out the final grade. You just focus on actually assessing the student's work. KLearn handles all the complex math. And for the subject teachers listening, there is a critical safety feature you should know about. Your working numbers, they are totally private. Your grades remain completely invisible on the broader class gradebook and on any report cards until you actively click the button that says Send Grades to Class Advisor. It's basically a private sandbox where you can adjust, tweak, and finalize everything before you make it official.
Lesson planning gets a similar streamlined treatment. When you fire up a new plan and pick a competency, the system actually auto-fills your intention section for you. You can even check a box to reuse that exact same plan across different sections of the same subject. The whole thing moves through a super clear workflow, from draft to submitted, and actually, you can submit it even before finishing your ways forward reflection, then to reviewed and finally completed. Everything is kept neat, tidy, and grouped by subject and status.
Let's wrap up with Part 6, Monitoring Learner Progress.
When you click into the platform's Learners tab, you are greeted with this incredible bird's-eye view of your classroom's overall engagement. Right next to every enrolled learner, you'll spot a completion rate badge, something simple like a 7 out of 10 metric. And with just one tap, you can expand that badge to see exactly what they've finished and what they haven't. It completely removes the guesswork. You'll know in seconds exactly who is thriving and who might just need a gentle nudge to get caught up.
Okay, to make sure you never get lost navigating your new digital classroom, there are 3 golden rules that apply everywhere in KLearn. Number 1, the naming convention is always grade level - subject, like grade 7 science, simply because subjects repeat across different sections. Number 2, anytime you see a list of teachers or learners, it's going to be grouped by gender, male then female, and then sorted alphabetically by last name. And number 3, just to hammer home that earlier point, simply adding a resource to the massive inventory does not automatically put it on your subject page. You have to curate that deliberately.
So, what does this all mean? By automating your competencies, crunching the heavy grading formulas, and handing you an AI assistant that builds interactive study tools from scratch in minutes, KLearn does way more than just digitize your classroom. It literally gives you your time back. So the only question I have left for you is, what are you going to do with all those hours you just saved? Thank you so much for joining this explainer, and happy teaching.